What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 26 of the Elephant Wire Podcast, the show where we break down song lyrics and don't play you a damn second of the song because major labels are thieving babies that would sue us up the ass. This week's episode, we are going to be dissecting the song Bose No Sé by a down-ass fool, Cuco. Let's fucking get some!
Welcome to the Elephant Wire Podcast. Music. Drugs. Laughter. Lyrics.
Welcome, one and all, episode 26 of the Elephant Wire Podcast. It is good to be here. I am very excited about this episode. I was turned on to Cuco by a boss of mine that I had when I lived in San Diego, Steve Romero. He's good people. A jefe. Good people. But pretty much every morning when we were getting rolling at the brewery that I was working at the time, we'd be jamming out to Cuco and just his chill-ass tunes, man. It was a good time. It was a very good time. And I still, to this day, I get down to Cuco. He's good people. He's a bright young man. He's going places. Great tunes. But let's get into it. Omar Banos, born in 1998. He's the youngest musician that we have covered so far in this podcast by quite a lot. By quite a lot. Omar is better known by his stage name Cuco. He is a songwriter from Hawthorne, California, originally. He was born in Inglewood, California, but he's raised in Hawthorne, California. He's the only child of two Mexican immigrant parents who did a fantastic job, raised him the right way with music. But his stage name comes from what his mother used to call him when he was a kid, Cuco. I love when I hear that musicians do that. That, you know, they're like Snoop Dogg is another one. His mom called him Snoopaloop, and it just kind of stuck, or Snoopy, or whatever the nickname was. I love whenever I hear that like a grown ass man got a professional career doing whatever it is, but he's going by the nickname his mama gave him. Hug your mom, everybody. That's what's up. But Cuco started, which for the episode, we're not going to call him Omar because it just feels weird, It almost feels. We don't know him like that. Let's say it like that. I did a sock check. If anyone knows what that is, if you want to be a down-ass fool, I sock checked before I started this episode. I'm looking pretty good right now. I'm funky fresh. I tried to fit into my wife's Nike Cortez. It didn't quite work. She's about 7 sizes smaller than my foot, so that wasn't gonna make the cut. But I'm gonna do my best to pay some homage to a beautiful young man. And like I said, we're not going to call him Omar because we don't know him like that. We're going to call him Cuco for the rest of the episode. But Cuco, he started playing guitar when he was 8. He started writing songs when he was 11. But he didn't actually start recording those songs until he was about 15 years old, which, being born in 1998, really wasn't that long ago. Between 2014 and 2015, when he was recording songs in his early days, he was known by the name Heavy Trip, and he would write very psychedelic tunes. And you can still tell that today in a lot of the music that he makes, a lot of his music videos, a lot of the references that he makes. He's a big psychedelic guy, and I appreciate that. I like my psychedelics. Fucking dirty-ass hippie Kyle, he likes his psychedelics, that's for sure. We're going to be talking about those in a couple weeks. I'm very excited about that. But when he started writing a little poppier music, a little catchier tunes. That's when he decided to change his name to Cuco from Heavy Trip, and that's what he's been since then. A lot of people would describe his music a lot of different ways, as far as like his exact genre. He's been described as bedroom pop. He's been called alternative dream pop, which I didn't even know that was a genre. He's got his a lot of synths, a lot of 808s. One thing that I was reading was saying he had very washed out analog sounds, and I like that as well. He's very much in that camp. Not your typical rapper. Really not your typical rapper. He he spends a lot of time, you can tell, on, I wouldn't even call them his beats. I mean, yes, it is a beat, and for all accounts and purposes, that's what it is. But at the same time, it's so much more than that. I mean, the young man's a musician who raps, and it, because of that, he would list his main musical influences like Tame Impala. He's a big Tyler the Creator fan, Ariel Pink. He's also just a really big fan of like 60s psychedelic rock. He loves that shit. Actually, a live album that he did, I can't remember if it was for Audio Tree or if it was for Radio 1. I can't remember who did it, but he did a live recording, and some of the fucking guitar he got down on in that was absolutely incredible. He's a very talented musician. And as also as a little side note, if you're a fashionista, if you're into the fashion, Cuco actually has a streetwear clothing brand called Fantasy's Easy Living. I didn't check it out because I'm not a very fashionable young man. I wear two colors, black and white, and sometimes at the same time. I'm not a very fashionable guy. I let my wife pick my hairstyle. If we're going to dinner, I let her pick out my shirt. Yeah, I'm not a very fashionable guy. My socks have stripes. I'm in Vans every day of my life. Jeans. I even wear a brown belt with black jeans. And I even know you're not supposed to do that. And I still do it because I really don't give a fuck. But if you're into it, Fantasy's Easy Living. He's got some good clothes, I would assume. But if you're not familiar with Cuco, not just the song we're talking about today, a couple other songs I would definitely say to check out would be Lo Que Siento. I would say Keeping Tabs is one of my favorite songs. It was actually a collab he did with a fucking hilarious Instagram account called Foo's Gone Wild. It's a hilarious song for what it is, but it's actually kind of it's an interesting one. It's about tripping balls in your room and just seeing how many more psychedelics you can take until shit gets weird. It's a lot of fun. Keeping Tabs. Another great song he's got is Summertime. And I actually will reference this. This wasn't in my notes, but I feel like I should bring it up. Is that another thing that I really love about Cuco is his music videos are outstanding. Before researching this episode, I ended up just kind of going into a YouTube black hole of like looking up different shit, and I ended up watching a couple of his music videos for the first time in a while. I hadn't seen him in a minute, and I was just laughing my ass off at parts and just like completely drawn into the artistry and the shots and the colors, and he's a very artistic young man, and everything that he touches, it's very aesthetically pleasing, and it's very well put together as well. He's currently signed to Interscope Records. And let's just get into it, man. The album we're talking about today, Para Mi, it's Spanish for me. And it was his debut studio album. It came out July 26th, 2019. I thought at one point about delaying this episode until we were a little closer to the drop date for that album. And actually, the 26th does fall on a Monday this year, so it would have worked perfectly. But I record so far in advance, and I wasn't thinking, and then after it already happened, just like setting the schedule, I didn't want to move a bunch of shit around because things were promised to people and ... and blah blah blah. And so here we are. This episode is not coming out on the 26th of July. But the album was released on the 26th of July, 2019, just a couple short years ago. The album was co-produced by Cuco and then a young man by the name of Jonathan Rado of a band called Foxygen. Great band. You should definitely check them out. Very psychedelic indie stuff. Very aesthetically pleasing. Very interesting music. Foxygen, like Foxy Gen, is exactly the way it's spelled. Great band. And obviously good friends of Cuco. Their lead singer co-produced his album, so obviously they're in tight. But the album itself actually was almost like a therapy album for Cuco. The album is, at majority of parts of it, it's talking about a situation that had happened while Cuco was on tour in 2018. While he was on tour, he was actually in a tour bus accident that sent him and the majority of his band and crew to the hospital. They were on their way to Nashville when their van was they were pulled over to the side of the road, and the details are still kind of fuzzy. It is what it is, but the van was pulled over to the side of the road, and the van was actually struck by a tractor trailer. And it was right outside of Nashville on Interstate 40, if you know where that's at. But according to local news reports, all 10 passengers in the van were hospitalized. There was a report that I was reading about the crash itself, and then I read another report, and it almost looked exactly plagiarized. And I read another report, and same thing. It was the exact same information, which was none. So I went and checked out Cuco's Twitter, and he had a couple tweets from around that time. And he said, "There was a terrible accident last night as we were heading to Nashville. A couple of us are recovering currently. Just underwent surgery as well, but thankful everyone is recovering. I'm so sorry, everyone. I love you. Please keep the band in your thoughts. Some are more severe than others. There was secondary impact that from a big rig that launched our van and myself, one or two others, I'm not sure, because I was on the floor and I couldn't process much, but please keep everyone in your thoughts." Basically, the van was pulled over to the side of the road. Some people are out of the van, some people weren't. And Cuco was one of the ones that was in the van, and he was just laying on the floor of the van whenever it was struck by this trailer. And like I said, all 10 people that were with the van or involved with the van, all 10 of them ended up going to the hospital. And everyone recovered. Everyone's okay to this day, but there was a hot minute where, I kept going through his Twitter for a minute, and the next couple weeks of his Twitter were rough. There were a couple times where he just said tweets that just said everything hurts. And it broke my heart for the guy. He's young, he's just getting going, his music career is taking off, and then something crazy like that, and he's got to cancel a tour and literally just focus on his health and try to get back to normal again. But para mí is his first full album, and actually at this moment that we're recording this episode, it's actually his only full album. He's released 4 EPs, kind of a handful of standalone singles and different things like that. And well before releasing things under a record label, he had plenty of music that he released on SoundCloud and things like that. But the song we're talking about today, Bose no sé, it was actually the second single release from our album, Para mí, and it was released on May 22nd, 2019. And he actually got some pretty solid accolades off of that. The Wall Street Journal covered his album and called it charmingly loose and endearingly quirky. I love that. I kind of wish that was my yearbook quote. Charmingly loose and endearingly quirky. Rolling Stone as well said that the album transmutes various pop methodologies to create his own blend of burnout soul. I sometimes whenever I'm reading these reviews, that especially Rolling Stone, sometimes when I'm reading these reviews, it kind of feels like that person that just learned a big word, and so they just keep using it. But then sometimes you're like, I don't actually think that that's a word. I think you just made that up. I'm not entirely, I don't think that that's a real word. So in the parameter of Rolling Stone, I think they invent genres a lot. Burnout Soul, I'm not entirely sure that that's a real, it might be a genre. I don't know. I have no problem being proven wrong. I'm not too proud for that. But the album itself, it hit the U.S. Billboard 200, and it hit 94. Cracked the top 100. Fucking A, Cuco. That's what's up, dude. But let's get into our song. It's track 3 of 13, and it comes in at 3 minutes 21 seconds. One of the cool things about this song, it features one of the verses. It features young man by the name of John Carter. It's Jesus Christ. I swear I can read. Jean. John Carter. He's an LA-based rapper. He's got his own solo project just under his name. However, he is also one of the singers of the band Your Grandparents, which I had not discovered until writing this episode, and I am so glad I did. Your Grandparents is going to be a band that I will be listening to for the next few weeks. They are chill as fuck, smooth as hell, sexy as hell. I mean, these boys are they're getting some. I absolutely love it. Your Grandparents, make sure to check them out. A lot of music recommendations this year. We got Foxy Jen, Cuco. Now we got Your Grandparents. I'm sure there'll be another one as we go along. Well, John Carter. I mean, just check out his solo stuff too. It's very interesting. It's very much along the lines of the stuff that Cuco's releasing, so it only makes sense that they collab together on this song. But this song that we're talking about today is about a relationship. Cuco is trying to get over someone or that he broke up with, or he's trying to break up with, but he's still in love with them, but he can't get that person back because they cheated on him. But there's a whole mess, and all of the emotions that come into that of trying to navigate that period of a relationship, of the it's ending, did it end, should it end, I want it to end, please don't leave me, like all of those things just wrapped into this messy ball of sludge and love and gross and sex and whatnot. Too much fun. But the title itself, Bossa No Se, it actually refers to a bossa nova guitar, which is the guitar that's used throughout the song. And then no se translates to I don't know. So, I remember whenever I first, when I first started listening to Cuco, and like I said, my homeboy Steve Romero out in San Diego, whenever he first, showed me Cuco and we were listening to this song, and I saw the title of the track, and I was like, Bossa No Se? And he's like, I don't know, maybe he has a buddy named Bosa and he doesn't know him, or I don't know. Like, we couldn't figure out what it is. Well, now we know. He doesn't know a guitar, or he doesn't know what guitar, or he doesn't know what guitar to play. The way the context is, it could go 1,000 different directions of what it means. But it's a guitar, and then I don't know. That's literally the name of the song. I fucking love it. Don't play with me. You broke my heart. But I'm also so obsessed with you. I don't know if I love you. I don't know if I hate you. Baby, it's time to get out of my way. Get out my life. I'm so sick of you just playing games. I'm pretty sure I hate you. I'm pretty sure I love you. After all this commotion and the bullshit that you did, cut my body into pieces and just throw me off a bridge, I think it's fair to say that I'm going insane. More broken day by day. Why won't you go away? You say you hate me, but you stay banging my line. Why do you want to break my heart and love me at the same time? Stupid bitch, you came from hell and made me lose my fucking mind. What did I do to deserve this? You just gave me a hard time. And they hate me up and told me that you were with my homie. How could you ever hurt me? I never been so lonely. Can't take it back, oh no. Think that it's time to go. You left me all on my own. You gon' make me take my passion and put it to the side. You was the lady I loved, but you ruined my life. But you was so pretty that I didn't put up a fight. But you was so pretty, and I just knew it wasn't right. I've been seeing shit in HD. All this shit, it just ain't me. You've been saying that you hate me, then taking it back and can't face me. I roll a blunt just to face it, and put the bullshit to the side. Made a roller coaster out my mattress. How you gonna take a homie for a fucking ride? Been trying to put it in the past, saying it's old news. Can't stand the thought of your ass. Deleted your old nudes. Made sure you was solid. I ain't wanna leave you in the cold, boo. I think of the times that we spent, and it left me feeling so foolish. So don't play with me. You broke my heart, but I'm also so obsessed with you. I don't know if I love you. I don't know if I hate you. Baby, it's time to get out of my way. Get out my life. I'm so sick of you just playing games. I'm pretty sure I hate you. And I'm pretty sure I love you. Oh, Cuco. Cuco, my heart hurts for you, bro. Poor Cuco. He's been going through it, man. This girl just... I mean, there's two sides to every story, you know. But we're only telling one of those stories today. Don't play with me. You broke my heart. But I'm also so obsessed with you. You know, Cuco he expresses that conflict that he's feeling toward this girl. She hurt him so bad, man. And a part of him still loves her. And, you know, he isn't sure why he feels this way toward her. You know, but, you know, he knows it's not healthy. He knows he wants to escape the relationship for good. He knows he wants out of there. Don't play with me. You broke my heart, but I'm obsessed with you. Like, I don't know if I love you. I don't know if I hate you. You know, the confusion at this moment is like it's all too it's familiar to anyone out there. You know, for example, when I'm being a goober and trying to make my wife laugh, what does she do? She looks me square in the eyes and says, "You're stupid." That's what she says, but she's smiling as she says it. Now that's a fun example, right? Well, I think it's a fun example. She might have something different to say about that, but like I said, I mean, like, if you know, she'll look me dead in the eye and say, "You're stupid. You're not funny." She'll say things like that. It's like the back and forth, and like I said, that's a fun example. But the serious example is exactly this. You don't know if you love someone or hate them. You're so confused. Those parts in our brain, they're so close together that we can't even remember which one is firing and when. And he lays it out. Baby, it's time to get out my way, get out my life. I'm so sick of you playing games. I'm pretty sure I hate you. I'm pretty sure I love you. Like, does he actually kind of enjoy the games? Like, does the time that they actually spend together, does it make the games worth it? Or is it the opposite? Like, the time that they spend together, those games are not fucking worth it. And he wants to love her. He's pretty sure he loves her. But the games, like, I'm so sick of you playing games. What's going on here? Is this a thing? Is this going to happen? And he gets in that. The song starts with the chorus, this first verse. "After all this commotion and the bullshit that you did, cut my body into pieces and just throw me off a bridge. My man's is hurting. He's hurting bad. Cut me into pieces, throw me off a bridge. I can't do this shit no more." Cuco, I feel for you, man. That's tough. That's a rough one. I think it's fair to say that I'm going insane. You know, feeling like you've absolutely lost your mind is sadly all too common to anyone who's ever been in love. Like, there's multiple points of being in love where you straight up feel like you've lost your damn mind. I think it's fair to say I'm going insane. You know, like, just, you know, like one of your buddies hits you up and he's like, "What are you doing?" Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I think I've lost my fucking mind. Like, I think you did, man. I think you've gone crazy. I don't really know what's going on with you right now. But he continues on. "More broken day by day. Why won't you go away? You say you hate me, but you stay banging my line." Now, this one I didn't know. Apparently, this is what the kids are saying nowadays, and this is a fun one. I'm going to keep saying it. There's all sorts of things that I've learned researching these episodes. Little jargon, little. I hate to call them street terms. It's such a terrible way to say it. When people say street names for drugs or street this or street, like, fuck off. Like, I have nothing to do with the streets or being as real as the streets. So literally, I'm just going to be old man about it and say the kids these days and what they're saying. And this is a fantastic saying, "But you stay banging my line," because she's playing games with him. She's all over the place. She says she hates him. He's more broken day by day. She says she hates him. He doesn't know what to do, but she stays banging his line. What banging his line means? It's slang for texting and calling and using their cellular device. Banging his line. She won't fucking leave him alone after all this shit, saying she can't stand him. And in that very next line, he says, "Why do you want to break my heart and love me at the same time?" Like, just the amount of pain he's got in there. And he's such a sweet young man, and the way he goes about rapping is so innocent that even this very next line here, "Stupid bitch, you came from hell and made me lose my fucking mind." In the music video, the camera is on him when he says that. He's he's kind of playing this whole, in the music video, the official music video for the song, it's a couple, a guy and a girl. She's unimpressed by him. He has no money, all these things. and he's trying to give her a good weekend, and so he rents a hotel room, but he says it's an Airbnb, and they get there and it's a fucking Fleabag motel, and she's pissed off, and so the whole time, Cuco's just kind of in the distance, and he's just like watching these things happen, and he's kind of rapping about this, and even whenever he says that line, "Stupid bitch, you came from hell and made me lose my fucking mind," even when he says that, the look on his face is just so sweet and so kind. It's very confusing. He says, "What did I do to deserve this? You just gave me a hard time." And then it goes into this little like pre-chorus breakdown here, and we finally have. It's kind of seems like the nail in the coffin a little bit. We're not quite there yet, but they hit me up and told me that you were with my homie. It's twofold here. It's a twofold situation because not only did someone see her with another guy, but he knows the other guy. I mean, that's rough, man. I had one of the more similar situations that I have of that in my life. I had one time, there was this girl, and I was kind of into her, but it was, I wasn't, my homie and I are still buddies to this day because of the fact that, like, yeah, I was into her. She was super cute, and she was cool, and, all those things. But I had this idea for a date, and I was like, all right, well, she says that she would go out with me, so I'm going to try out this date idea. So what I did was I told her I'd pick her up at a certain time, and about, an hour before that, I started cooking this, like, lavish meal. Well, not lavish, but, like, I had a bottle of wine, I made some pasta, I made some bread, I had a salad prepared. And I got everything together, and I got all these fixings, and then I had my younger sister, because she was all about it. She's all romanticized with everything in life. So I got her everything together, and it was all, prepared. And I was like, okay, like, I told her the spot where she was going to get everything set up. Take this all down by the river walk and the burb that we lived in. Take all this shit down there, get it all set up, make it look like a date, and then I'll text you when we're walking up, and then you can, beat it and, get out of there. So I go pick up this girl, and, her name's Melissa. Doesn't matter. And I go pick her up, and she's like, "So where are we going to dinner?" And I was like, "Oh, I got a reservation at this place down by the river, but we're actually a little early. Like, I couldn't get, I told her I'd pick her up at 6, and I was like, "Oh, we actually don't have a reservation till 7, so I figured we just, like, walk down by the river and just shoot the shit." And she's like, "Yeah, that sounds cool." So we start walking along, and all of a sudden we come upon this table with candles and a meal prepared and a bottle of wine and place cards. And I'm like, "Well, what is this?" And she was fucking blown away. Now here's how the night ended up going down. We have our date, and it's all well and good, and it's fun, and then I actually tell her how it all went down, and like I saw it as this grand gesture of like being cute. She saw it as like, oh my god, this guy's a crazy person, he's a creepazoid. And why wouldn't she think that? It wasn't how I meant it, and like, I was still fully prepared to go on 27 more dates before we even called ourselves dating. Like, I just had the idea, and I figured I'd try and see if I could pull it off. That's basically what happened. The way the night ended, we went over to a bar that we always hung out at in the House Pub out in St. Charles, Illinois, and at the end of the evening, my buddy Kevin took her home. So, it was one of those situations. That's about as close as I've ever got to, they hit me up and told me that you were with the homie. I actually watched her leave with him. I bought her drinks when we got to the bar, and then she left with him. And then the next day I texted him. I'm like, "How'd everything go?" And he's like, "Great, that girl was fun." I was like, "Well, fantastic, man. I'm glad that I could set you up for success, asshole." Oh, my God. I hadn't thought about that in a long time until I started writing this episode. That was a goofy time. But anyway, joke's on her. She's got kids now, and I'm married to a hot wife and living in fucking Colorado. So, anyway, he continues on and says, "How could you ever hurt me? I'd never been so lonely. Can't take it back. Think that it's time to go. You left me all on my own." This seems like this was the final straw. This was the nail in the coffin. This is the moment. Maybe it was the tangible evidence. Maybe it was because it was step too far. Maybe it was because of the homie she was with. Like every crew of friends has that one homie that, like, oh, god damn it, Carl's here. Like, oh, fuck, Jeff showed up. Awesome, fantastic. Well, maybe she rolled out with him. And maybe it was calculated. We already know she loves playing games. That's kind of her thing. Let's not rule it out. But again, like I said earlier, two sides to every story. We're just telling one of them here. That's how we're going to keep it. So now we get into John Carter's verse. Verse 2 here. You're going to make me take my passion and put it to the side. Now, obviously, this is two different people. So, this is John Carter maybe telling a similar situation that would have happened to him. Maybe the whole thing's fictitious. Maybe there are no two sides. Maybe there is no one side to even to this. This is just a fucking song. But because of what this podcast is, and we read way too much into this shit, we're going to act like when Cuco, his heart was broken, and he went to John Carter, and he was like, man, here's how I'm feeling. John Carter's like, man, I feel the same way. I had a girl do that shit to me too. And that's how they ended up where they're at. So now we got John Carter's verse, and he says, you're going to make me take my passion and put it to the side. She made him ignore his dreams. I'm getting resituated in my chair. It wasn't very comfy. You can make me, she made him ignore his dreams and his aspirations, and, probably at first because she meant a lot to him, or because she just wanted the attention. And anything that wasn't attention toward her, she wasn't into. And John Carter says, you was the lady I loved, but you ruined my life. You was so pretty that I didn't put up a fight. You was so petty, and I just know it wasn't right. Now, here we have another situation, but, all too well. A pretty girl can turn a man into putty. That's just how it goes. You were so pretty that I didn't put up a fight. He knew it was happening the whole time. And I'm a big dumb stupid idiot. I've in my life, in my dating career, which was very short-lived. I didn't really get out there a whole lot because I wasn't really into it. But pretty girls, they just turn you into butter. You just can't even think straight and say your thinking thought words. And poor John. He's saying that since she was so beautiful, he didn't even want to argue with her. And he even knew what she was doing wasn't right, and he even let it destroy him. But she was so pretty. But now he gets to take a step back and actually see things clearly. He says, I've been seeing shit in HD. All this shit, it just ain't me. He all of a sudden one day just snapped into it and was like, whoa, hey, whoa, hey, oh, whoa, hey, whoa, hang on. This isn't me. What am I doing? What am I allowing myself to be? And he has a very similar story too. You've been saying that you hate me and then taking it back and then can't face me. I roll a blunt just to face it and put the bullshit to the side and made a roller coaster out my mattress. Whoa. We got a little more insight here because it seems like the sex was incredible and was definitely a factor in how much he was willing to put up with. Or it was some makeup sex scenario, because that would make sense too. You've been saying you hate me and then take it back, and the bull, just will they, won't they, all this back and forth. Because his very next line is how you take a homie for a fucking ride. Been trying to put it in the past, saying it's old news, can't stand the thought of your ass, deleted your old nudes. Now that line is fucking funny. That is absolutely hilarious. Can't stand the thought of your ass. Which is just, you could say that about anything. Oh, look at this ass. Oh, can't wait to see his ass. And it doesn't mean really anything. It's at that point, it's almost just a pronoun. So the way he's using it here, can't stand the thought of your ass, deleted your old nudes. Which brings me actually to another tangent. I'm just going to hit this one real quick. Life advice moment. It's actually really, it's respectful to delete nudes after they've been sent to you. Seriously. This isn't even a joke here. If someone sends you a nude, they obviously meant for it to come to you. Hey, they trust you enough that they sent you a nude. You know how you retain that trust? Delete it. Take a peek at it. Store it in the mind's eye, in the old folder cabinet, and file it away in the bank, as it's referred to, and then delete that shit. Delete it. That's just some standard respectful life advice there. That's a pro tip. Just keep that one around. It's a fun one. But he ends his verse by saying, made sure you was solid. I ain't want to leave you in the cold. I think of the times that we spent, and it left me feeling so foolish. Even though John knew that she was treating him wrong. He knew it wasn't right. He he knew that she was crazy, and she was going back and forth and back and forth, and all the things that he put up with just because she was pretty. Still, whenever it got to the end, he didn't want to leave her in the cold. He couldn't do her dirty, and even at the same time, he's thinking about all the time that they spent together, and he just felt foolish. That was his take on the whole time. I just felt foolish that I let myself become that way. I let myself be that person. And this is one situation too where we've all had friends that maybe got into a relationship or any kind of dating or whatever it is, and they kind of just maybe almost overnight is what it seems, but over a short period of time almost becomes someone else. And it's very it's difficult as a friend to kind of let a little birdie fly, if you will, and kind of let them explore that. Because as long as the only thing that they're getting from you, the only reciprocation on your end is love, and they're just like, no, you got to go figure your shit out. When the day comes, because anyone that tries to, whenever they date someone else, they try to turn that person into someone else, it's not going to end well. And they're going, and your homie is going to end up feeling really foolish. So if the only thing that you give him is advice and love, he's going to come back, and he's going to need a shoulder, man. He's going to need a shoulder because he's going to feel really foolish. But you got his back, right? You're homies. That's how it goes. This goes for anybody. This isn't just dudes. This is guys. This is girls. This is anybody. It doesn't really matter. But Cuco's got our last chorus here. He says, "Don't play with me. You broke my heart. But I'm also so obsessed with you. I don't know if I love you. I don't know if I hate you." Ooh, now are we making progress? Because the whole time he's been saying, "I'm pretty sure." And now he's saying he doesn't know. I don't know if I love you, and I don't know if I hate you. And it seems like he might be kind of making some progress here. He's kind of coming out the other side. Baby, it's time to get out my way. Get out my life. I'm so sick of you just playing games. I'm pretty sure I hate you. I'm pretty sure I love you. God damn it, Cuco. I thought you were getting somewhere, homeboy. I'm pretty sure I hate you. I'm pretty sure I love you. God damn, Cuco. I feel for you, homie. Feel better. What a fantastic song. It's also, at the same time, I hope this song's just a whole bunch of nothing and just a bunch of goofy lyrics and just a funny story. At the same time, we've all been there. Love's a real son of a bitch. And I feel like we've kind of been on a theme as of late. We've been talking about love quite a bit in the last few episodes. Next episode, we won't be at all. Well, if anything, we'll be talking about our love of drugs. But we're going to have Dirty Kyle up in here. But Cuco gives us a, sometimes comedy is the best way to deal with things. Everyone has that tendency that whenever they get dumped or they're going through a relationship issue to throw on, sad songs. They throw on some, just like really contemplative music because that's how they feel and they want their feeling to be reinforced. And I do the same thing. If I have a fucking weird day, I throw on metal. That being said, if I have a great day, I also throw on metal. If I have kind of a day, I probably throw on some metal. But thank you, Cuco, for this beautiful song. Bose no say. What a down-ass fool. What a great guy. I love this song. But now that we're here, it's officially time for the local band spotlight. And this week we got some fantastic cats from Chicago. Once again, Chicago, Illinois, the Mini Projects that consist of siblings, Emmy, Mikey, and Angel, as a Latinx young band coming out of the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Now, I want to say right off the bat, I did not plan this. The way booking bands for the podcast works, when bands hit me up, cool, you're in the schedule, and whatever the next slot is, that's where you go. Now, that being said, I did not have a finalized list of all the songs for this season, and I shuffled some songs around, but all the bands stay the same. You hit me up in season 2 or in season 1 and right at the end of season 1, you were probably pretty early in the running for season 2. And I didn't do any moving around. And so the fact that this worked out, we got a Latinx band with a Cuco episode. Fucking A. It's too much fun. And they're from Chicago. This is too much fun. I'm absolutely loving this. They say, now having wrapped up their very first album, Pattern Dreams, which showcases their young, fresh vibe with an indie retro style of music, the mini projects fuse their Latin background and bridge the gap in hopes of giving the audience the feel of good, nostalgic vibes they grew up listening to. I fucking love that. Good nostalgic vibes. There's nothing better than nostalgic vibes. I love those too much. Especially like, you ever been like walking somewhere and you smell something and you're like, it smells like my grandma's house, like her living room in like September in here. I fucking love nostalgic vibes. They're too much fun. Mini projects, thank you so much for being the local band spotlight. We've added one of their songs to Local Bands That Don't Suck playlist. They are the most recent song added that, which it's in descending order. So it'll be the very last song on the playlist, and it's been working that way ever since. We've added the song Bose by Cuco to our Elephant Wire podcast playlist on Spotify. Make sure to check both of those out. Support local music, my friends. Support local music. The local band spotlight is always my favorite part of the episode because we get to literally shine a spotlight on some cats that are just out there getting some. And especially trying to get some whenever they're just giving the audience a feel of good, nostalgic vibes. Get some mini projects. Thank you so much. Support local music. And if you like what we do at the Elephant Wire Podcast and you'd like to support us as well, you can go to anchor.fm/the Elephant Wire Podcast, and you can support us there monthly with however much money you want. That's cool. If you're not really into that sort of thing, there's other ways you can support us as well. You can just tell your friend that you heard a podcast one time and it was kind of dope. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on like all sorts of shit. We pretty much got everything out there. Other ways you can support us, you can hit up our website, theelephantwire.com. We got t-shirts, stickers, all that good jazz. You can give us a one-time gift on the website as well. That's about all we got for today. As per usual, thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll see you guys next week. We got Dirty Kyle in here, or we're supposed to. I got to find him first. Last I heard, he was in the mountains somewhere. So we'll see if we can find him. But that's all I got today, folks. Fuck the man. Hail Satan. Hug your mom. We'll catch you next week. Peace.